And I also want you to know that as you're doing your duty here, we're going to do right by you back home. We're going to help take care of your families. And that's why the First Lady Michelle Obama visited with military families and makes sure that their needs are met. That's why she stays after me once she gets home, when I'm at the White House. And we're going to make sure that we are keeping to improve your pay and your benefits. But also things like childcare and support that ensure that you've got a little bit of security knowing your family is being looked after back home. And we'll be there for you when you come home. It's why we're improving care for our wounded warriors, especially those with PTSD and traumatic brain injuries. We're moving forward with the post 9/11 GI Bill so you and your families can pursue your dreams. And we've made the biggest increase in the VA budget in 30 years. Because we're going to keep our sacred trust with all those who serve. You've been there for us, tour after tour, year after year. At a time when too many American institutions have let us down. When too many institutions have put short-term gain in front of a commitment to duty and a commitment to what's right. You've met your responsibilities, you've done your duty not just when it's easy. That's why you've inspired your fellow Americans. That's why you inspire me. That's why you've earned your place next to the very greatest of American generations. And all of you represent the virtues and the values that America so desperately needs right now. Sacrifice and selflessness, honor and decency. That's why you're here today. That's what you represent. I've seen your sense of purpose and your willingness to step forward and serve in a time of danger. I've seen it from the Marines I've met at Camp Lejeune to the cadets at West Point. From the midshipmen at Annapolis to the troops I've met in Iraq, and at bases across America and here in Afghanistan. I've seen your courage and your heroism and the story of a young sergeant first class named Jared Monty, who gave his life here in Afghanistan to save his fellow soldiers and his parents. I was proud to present with our nation's highest military declaration, the Medal of Honor. I've seen your tenacity and determination in our wounded warriors in Landstuhl. And Walter Reed, Americans fighting to stand again and to walk again and to get back with their units. Incredible dedication, incredible focus, incredible pride. And I've been humbled by your sacrifice and the solemn homecoming of flag-draped coffins at Dover. To the headstones in Section 60 at Arlington where the fallen from this war rest in peace alongside the fellow heroes of America's story. So here in Afghanistan each one of you is part of an unbroken line. Of American service members who've sacrificed for over 2 centuries. You're protecting your fellow citizens from danger. You're serving alongside old allies and new friends. You're bringing hope and opportunity to a people who have known a lot of pain and a lot of suffering. And I know that sometimes when you're watching TV, the politics back home may look a little messy. And people are yelling and hollering, and Democrats this and Republicans that. I want you to understand this, there's no daylight when it comes to support of all of you. There's no daylight when it comes to supporting our troops. That brings us together. We are all. Incredibly proud. We all honor what you do. And all of you show all of America what's possible when people come together. Not based on color or creed, not based on faith or station. But based on a commitment to serve together, to bleed together and to succeed together as one people, as Americans. Make no mistake, this fight matters to us. It matters to us, it matters to our allies, it matters to the Afghan people. Al-Qaeda and the violent extremists who you're fighting against want to destroy. But all of you want to build, and that is something essential about America. They've got no respect for human life. You see dignity in every human being. That's part of what we value as Americans. They want to drive races and regions and religions apart. You want to bring people together and see the world move forward together. They offer fear, in other words, and you offer hope. And that's why it is so important that you know that the entire country stands behind you. That's why you put on that uniform, because in an uncertain world, the United States of America will always. Stand up for the security of nations and the dignity of human beings. That's who we are. That is what we do. Much has happened to our country and to the world since 9/11. But I'm confident that so long as brave men and women like you Americans who are willing to serve selflessly half a world away. On behalf of their fellow citizens and the dreams of people they've never met, so long as there are folks like you. Then I'm confident that our nation will endure, and hope will overcome fear. And I am confident that better days lie ahead. So thank you very much, everybody. God bless you. God bless the United States Armed Forces. And God bless the United States of America. Barack Obama. Speech at West Point on troop increase in Afghanistan. Delivered December 1, 2009, Eisenhower Hall, West Point Military Academy, New York. Thank you. Please be seated. Good evening. To the United States Corps of Cadets, to the men and women of our armed services, and to my fellow Americans. I want to speak to you tonight about our effort in Afghanistan, the nature of our commitment there. The scope of our interests, and the strategy that my administration will pursue to bring this war to a successful conclusion. It's an extraordinary honor for me to do so here at West Point. Where so many men and women have prepared to stand up for our security, and to represent what is finest about our country. To address these important issues, it's important to recall why America and our allies were compelled to fight a war in Afghanistan in the first place. We did not ask for this fight. On September 11th, 2001, 19 men hijacked 4 airplanes and used them to murder nearly 3,000 people. They struck at our military and economic nerve centers. They took the lives of innocent men, women, and children without regard to their faith or race or station. Were it not for the heroic actions of passengers on board one of these flights, they could have also struck at one of the great symbols of our democracy in Washington, and killed many more. As we know, these men belong to Al-Qaeda, a group of extremists who have distorted and defiled Islam. One of the world's great religions, to justify the slaughter of innocents. Al-Qaeda's base of operations was in Afghanistan, where they were harbored by the Taliban, a ruthless, repressive, and radical movement that seized control of that country after it was ravaged by years of Soviet occupation and civil war. And after the attention of America and our friends had turned elsewhere, just days after September 11, Congress authorized the use of force against Al-Qaeda. And those who harbored them, an authorization that continues to this day. The vote in the Senate was 98-0. The vote in the House was 420-1. For the first time in its history. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization invoked Article 5, the commitment that says an attack on one member nation is an attack on all. And the United Nations Security Council endorsed the use of all necessary steps to respond to the 9/11 attacks. America, our allies, and the world were acting as one to destroy Al-Qaeda's terrorist network. And to protect our common security. Under the banner of this domestic unity and international legitimacy, and only after the Taliban refused to turn over Osama bin Laden, we sent our troops into Afghanistan. Within a matter of months, Al-Qaeda was scattered and many of its operatives were killed. The Taliban was driven from power and pushed back on its heels. A place that had known decades of fear now had reason to hope. At a conference convened by the UN, a provisional government was established under President Hamid Karzai. And an international security assistance force was established to help bring a lasting peace to a war-torn country. Then, in early 2003, the decision was made to wage a second war in Iraq. The wrenching debate over the Iraq War is well known and need not be repeated here. It's enough to say that for the next 6 years, the Iraq War drew the dominant share of our troops. Our resources, our diplomacy, and our national attention, and that the decision to go into Iraq caused substantial rifts between America and much of the world. Today, after extraordinary costs, we are bringing the Iraq War to an responsible end. We will remove our combat brigades from Iraq by the end of next summer. And all of our troops by the end of 2011. That we are doing so is a testament to the character of the men and women in uniform. Thanks to their courage, grit, and perseverance, we have given Iraqis a chance to shape their future. And we are successfully leaving Iraq to its people.